Lucas took Prince Edward to his house in the palace where he lives, with his uncle Priest Louis was there, and he welcomed the prince with so much love. "Anything you'd like me to get you, your highness?" The prince smiled and shook his head. Priest Louis bowed his head and excused the two of them, while Lucas gestured for the prince to sit, which he did. "I'm sorry for keeping this a secret from you. I didn't mean to, but it was something I had to do." The prince was confused. "You didn't mean to, but you had to. What figure of speech is that?" "Your Highness, I was 5 when my uncle brought me from Atlanta to Havila. He promised my parents he would take care of me and nothing bad would happen to me. I almost lost my life during the war, Your Highness." Flashback. The cries became so loud that the kingdom looked like a place where animals were being slaughtered. Lucas was seen standing alone as he watched the guards kill the supernatural being. He had no idea what to do. "Lucas!" a voice called, but when he turned around, he saw no one. "Lucas!" The voice sounded like a man in desperation. Just when he was about to turn, a hand grabbed him. He tried to wriggle out of his grip, but he couldn't. "Be calm. It's me." And when he looked up, he saw his uncle. He was too scared that he ran into his arms. Priest Louis hugged him tight and put him down. "Listen to me. I need you to hide, okay?" He took him to a cabin that was far from sight and told him to stay hidden and that he shouldn't come out no matter what happens. Uncle Louis. The tone in his voice was a mixture of sadness and fright. Priest Louis knew he was scared, but he gestured for him to be courageous. "I will cone back for you. I need to see if can save these people." As Priest Louis was about to leave, Lucas held him by his sleeve, and when the priest turned, he saw the little boy already in tears. "I am scared. Priest Louis pecked his forehead, and before Lucas could say anything, he left him. Lucas tried his best not to cry out loud. It was this time he wished he was back home with his parents. He had no idea why he should stay hidden. He had no idea why they were killing people, but whatever the reason was, he knew he wasn't safe. "Look, a woman is escaping," Lucas heard one of the guards say as he watched the woman run with a baby in her hand. As she was running, her foot hit a rock and she fell to the ground, but protected the baby from being injured while she took the pain. The guards were far behind, and Lucas was about to come out to help the woman when he noticed that another lady took the baby. The woman gave the lady an amulet which she wore around the neck of the baby, and something strange happened. He saw the lady disappear with the baby inside a big hole. He was stunned. Then the unfortunate happened as one of the guards came to the woman and pierced her chest with the sword. Lucas had to cover his eyes in fright. He didn't know how long the killings and wailing went on, or thou long he had been hiding. His face was in between his laps through that he didn't know when he fell asleep. He felt a hand touch him and he woke up in fear. It was dark and he couldn't see anything. Could it be they found him and he was going to die? He continued to fight whoever it was, and then the person pulled him out and covered his mouth, stopping him from screaming. Lucas was mumbling words that can't be heard as he struggled. "Shh," the voice said, and immediately Lucas became quiet. The person uncovered his mouth, and when Lucas turned, he saw his uncle. With happiness, he hugged him. "You came back." "Of course I did. I thought something bad had happened to you and I was going to be alone, and logically, Priest Louis carried him and hugged him. I will never let anything bad happen to you." "What is going on?" Lucas asked. "When you are old enough, I will explain to you, but for now we need to secure you a home, and I know the exact place." Reality. That's when I came to live in the palace because it was the safest place. It was in the palace. Figured out I wasn't human. I had a hard time controlling and hiding my powers, but my uncle helped me until El got the hang of it. He told me to keep it a secret or the king will kill me. What would you have me do, Your Highness? The prince finally understood why he had to keep it a secret. am sorry for the trouble my father caused you and your kind. I wish I could turn back the hands of time. You can, by bringing us—" Lucas paused as he remembered the baby and the amulet and the lady she was with. Maybe it would be easy to locate them after all. Prince Edward looked at Lucas, wondering why he paused all of a sudden. "Lucas's," he called, waving his hand in front of him. "Your Highness," he called, startling the prince, who had to hold his chest in shock, but he composed himself. "I think we can find her." "What?" "She was taken by a lady and they went into a portal. If I can create the same portal, it can lead us to the right place." "How are you going to recognize her?" "This is something that happened 18 years ago." The prince asked. The Prino was right. Would he still be able to recognize the lady after 18 years? Then we just have to watch out for the girl with the amulet. I just need to create the... Their conversation was interrupted by the knock on the door. "Who is there?" Lucas asked. "His Majesty would like a word with the prince." The prince stood up to meet who was at the door. When he opened it, he saw Kim standing at the door. He said it's urgent and Her Majesty would like to see you as well. I will be with you shortly. He was about to shut the door when Kim held the door. "Am sorry, but you have to dome with me, Your Highness. His Majesty said if I do not bring you to him, he'd have my head beheaded." The prince sighed. He looked at Lucas, who nodded at him. "You know where to find me if you need me." The Prebe nodded before following the guard to meet his father.